Alright guys, welcome to the Egypt Lake backcountry campground. So I'm skipping the whole bit of setting up the tent and showing you getting into the site and all that, because I basically skipped the whole hike in. It's at the beginning, once you get over Healy Pass, it's not so bad, but the beginning part, I was hiking with pretty big groups of people pretty much the whole way up. So, which means I don't really want to do a whole lot of video, and I mean there's not really a lot of amazing views on the way up, except in Healy Pass, but I'll get to that in a minute. So I'm out here for one night. I just got in, it's about 2 o'clock. My plan was to get in here pretty early and go and explore or as many of the lakes around here as I can. So the main lake here, what the campground's named after, is Egypt Lake, which is I think about a kilometer a little further up the trail, and then past that there I think is 4 or 5 other lakes. There's just a whole bunch of large alpine lakes in this area, and it's an area I've really wanted to come to for a long time. I came through here when I was in cadets for a summer, and this was one of the trails that we did, and for some reason I have vivid memories of these amazing views, and I've been trying to find it since I did it pretty much, because I wasn't smart enough to actually take one of the maps then. But yeah, now I'm back here and I'm hoping to get some pretty sweet shots. So the plan for the afternoon, evening is I'm going to set up camp, go and ditch all my smelly stuff, then empty as much as I can out of this bag. Basically just going to take some food, some warmer clothes, and my cameras, and head off, because the hikes around here are quite challenging. There's a lot of elevation gain, there's a lot of climbing and stuff that I'm going to have to do, so I want a lightweight backpack as possible. I don't quite know what I'm going to shoot for sunset yet. That's what I'm going to find out. But for tomorrow, the plan is going to be to go up and shoot Healy Pass, because I mean fall is in full bloom here in Banff National Park, and it is amazing up there. Just these beautifully golden larches as far as the eye can see, and I mean either side of the pass just has amazing photographic opportunities. So I'm gonna make a judgment call tomorrow morning, nice and early in the morning, as to which side of the pass I want to shoot. I didn't decide that yet, but I definitely am gonna make the 3 kilometer hike back up to Healy Pass, which is not gonna be easy, but I'm gonna do it this time because I think it'll be worthwhile results. All right guys, so like usual when I'm doing a lot of moving around like this, it's going to be pretty hard to get good consistent flow in the video, so I apologize ahead of time for that. But I'm on my way up to Egypt Lake. Just left the campground. Well, yeah, I left the campground a little ways back there, and yeah, figure Egypt Lake is probably the first and easiest one to start with because it's the closest one to the camp. Alright, so at Egypt Lake now. It's a pretty sweet spot. I definitely see some photography potential here. Not right now, the lighting is a little bit off because the sun is pretty much directly behind Egypt Lake. It's really nicely lighting up a lot of the trees. So I think in a couple hours, once the sun starts to kind of go down behind this line of mountains here, it might actually like make the trees look like they're glowing. Overall, pretty cool spot. Definitely a contender for sunset. The only problem is you're gonna lose a lot of light in the lake here, and it's gonna be hard to expose the sky kind of equally to the lake. So it's definitely gonna take a couple shots, but just kind of thinking and planning about what I want to shoot right now. I still haven't gone up top yet, which is where I'm kind of most excited to see. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, go up there for sunset, because I think it'll just take too much effort and energy, because I'm going up there now, and then I mean if it's worth it, I'll definitely go up again afterwards. I didn't want to like bring my supper and stove and all that up there, because I don't think I can spend 5 or 6 hours just hanging out up there. So I figure I'd go up there. If it's worth it, then I can always go back easily. If it's not worth going back, then I didn't have to carry a bunch of extra weight up. So either way, It's seemed like a win-win. The weather is starting to get a little bit questionable here. We've got some heavier clouds. You can kind of see them back here. Heavier gray clouds starting to move in over the mountain. It did call for clear skies tonight, which I am severely doubting. But either way, having all these big puffy clouds around is adding a lot of atmosphere. And when the sun does break through, it highlights a lot of areas very, very nicely. Not so much my face right now, but a lot of other areas. So I'm going to, finish eating my lunch here and then get going on the hard hike up to the upper lakes. There's supposed to be a pretty big, beautiful waterfall on the way up there, so I'm hoping to stop there too and give you guys a look around there. Alright, so the climb up here is pretty intense. It's pretty sharp, close together switchbacks the whole way up, it looks like. And gaining elevation real quick. And as much as I thought I'd be ditching a lot of weight when I set up camp and left food and all that down there, this pack still has to be 20, maybe close to 30 pounds. It didn't lighten up that much with all the stupid camera gear. So this is one of those times where being a photographer sucks.
Give me your strength and show me your weakness. We're in this together now. We're in this together now. Give me your love and tell me your secrets. 'Cause we're in this together now.
Alright guys, so at Scarab Lake now. I think I mentioned earlier in the video that I was planning to come to Scarab Lake and then Mummy Lake. And I think I'm going to forego my plans of going to Mummy Lake because let's see if I can get it in here. Mummy Lake is back up here, and that's the waterfall I was talking about. You can kind of make it out in the video, not really. But yeah, it's a pretty good climb up. A lot more than I think I have in me right now after backpacking all the way into Egypt Lake and then now climbing up here. So it's kind of a shame. I'm gonna walk it down a little further for sure, and if the trail doesn't look too bad, then I might just go for it, because I'm one of those people that it's like, I'm not gonna do it, but I just might do it. So yeah, the temperature is also dropping quite quickly. It's also because I'm out in the open now, right on the edge of a nice big mountain lake, and there's a nice, very cold breeze coming in. So it's a very nice day to be out. It's a very nice fall day, I should say that. In general, fall days are the best, but so as far as fall days go, this is a nice fall day. I don't quite know what there is to shoot here. It's a pretty big, spectacular, impressive place, but like a lot of big, spectacular, impressive places, there's not a whole lot of good photography compositions. Like, I'm super glad I came up here to shoot, to see this amazing view, to experience this and all that. It's just not really, it's not like, woo, photo heaven like some other places.
Even when the sun don't shine, even when the sun don't shine, give me your strength and show me your weakness. 'Cause we're in this together now, you and me together now.
Okay, so I kind of half decided to make a run at Mummy Lake, but now I'm just kind of confused because you can see that I am actually on a trail here, and according to my map, it's a summit trail, so it kind of goes up and summits one of these two, either this peak or this peak here, and I don't really want to do that. And from best I can understand, Mummy Lake is on top of this craziness up here. So yeah, there was a really cool shot that somebody posted on Google Maps that had a whole like overhead view. It looked like it was shot from up there, and it was a whole overhead view of this, of like Scarab Lake, and you could see all the, and Egypt Lake. And I was hoping to find that, but yeah, I just don't think I have it in me to keep going, because this looks like it goes down a pretty good ways, and then to get up on top of the massive rock wall that's in front of me here, you have to go up pretty high. So, and it's getting into a little bit sketchier terrain where I'd probably prefer having a helmet, because it's just a lot of loose scree and like large rock walls nearby. So I'm gonna turn back here, and I'm gonna when I get closer to the edge here, I'm gonna see if I can kind of skirt around this wall, anything like that, to try and get any of those really cool views. Skirt a little ways around, big rock wall behind me, very dangerous spot to be. As you can see, there's no trees, so no humans should be standing here. That's usually the kind of thing you want to look for in the wilderness. So I've kind of made it as far as I'm willing to go. It's pretty loose, sketchy shale, and if I keep going on it, it's a pretty good chance of twisting an ankle, which I don't want to do because I'm super far from, I'm far from camp and I'm far from my truck. So either way, it's a bad story. And yeah, without doing some super sketchy stuff, I don't know if I can get up on here. So I would guess that trail that I was on, it probably does go to Mummy Lake, probably gets you on top of this rock wall, and probably gives you some amazing views of this whole valley. But I just don't have it in me. So this is an area I'm definitely going to be coming back to. Comparing this to Baker Lake, I have to say this area, I don't know, it's pretty hard to debate. I mean, it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for like a lot of lakes, you don't mind a lot of like uphill climbing in that, this is definitely a better, cooler area to come to. Whereas Baker Lake, you have a lot more big open places. So it's kind of complete opposite, similar terrains, if that makes any sense. So just in front of me here, we can see Healy Pass, and that's where I'm going to end up going tomorrow morning. And so as you can see from where I'm sitting, it's a pretty far walk, but luckily I'll be pretty much down all the downhill, and then tomorrow morning I'll only be doing uphill to climb up on top of there and shooting basically where I'm sitting right now. That's the plan. So you might be looking around me and wondering why there's not a whole lot of yellow, so how am I going to get my amazing fall shot? Well, there is enough yellow on this whole mountainside here to actually give a very yellow appearance, even though it doesn't seem like there's enough where I am. There's definitely along the whole side, there's more than enough to give this just beautiful fall look. So that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm hoping to get. It should be a pretty amazing view from up there. Well, it is. I was already there. And yeah, so the hardest part of that is obviously going to be the climb up in the morning. And I know I just keep talking about tomorrow, and it's such a mean thing to do, but I'm just so focused, I'm so concentrated, because I think it's going to be one of the shots I've wanted for a long time. So when as a photographer, when you get those points where you know you can get an image that you've wanted for a long time, and like it's within your grasp, you just have to, I don't know, be able to, in this case, be able to physically get there in time to do it. So it's something that just becomes your whole world, becomes your obsession for the weekend at least, and in some cases months, even years. So yeah, every chance I get to peek out at Healy's Pass or Healy Path, I can't remember what it is. But anytime I get to peek out of the pass and just kind of plan out my shot, figure out, okay, over here gives me a good, where I can see right now kind of is similar. It really doesn't do any good. It just kind of like, I'm going to be up there tomorrow morning. It's that encouragement piece of it. Alright guys, so finally stopping for supper. Got some macaroni and cheese product. You always know it's good when they have to add the word product in there. Knocking everything over. So yeah, I took a very brief, basically the cooking area here is quite a good ways from the sleeping area, and the cooking area is also quite a ways from the river. So I've walked around the area pretty good. But I was not being attentive enough to pick out and choose any compositions in that. So I'm also quite tired, quite exhausted right now. There's a lot of hiking today, a lot of carrying a lot of weight around. So I'm definitely, once I sit down, eat for a bit, and I should be a little bit better to go walk around, explore, and try and find something to shoot for sunset. Still got plenty of time. Oh, I've got like an hour. So, not plenty of time, but enough time. And I mean, if it comes down to it, I'd rather enjoy this food than shoot sunset tonight, because I'm not really going to say that there's going to be anything super spectacular to shoot for sunset, just because from everything I've seen around here, it's a cool area, nice area, but there's not anything super cool or worth shooting. What I probably will do is just go down by the river and just spend some time in kind of the low foliage with a lot of the nice fall yellows and that coming around, and just spend some time shooting in that stuff with the nice golden lighting in that. So I have to see how it goes. I'm hoping, again, like usual, hoping for the best and planning for the worst. Alright guys, so it's officially sunset now. I'm just going to take a short walk up to Egypt Lake because I can't help but feel I'm missing out on something up there. So, I mean, it is 7:30 right now, which means right now is sunset. And we're not getting a whole lot of color or really anything interesting, which it feels weird saying it, but is a really good thing, because that means tomorrow morning should give pretty amazing sunrise results. Because usually one's good, one's bad. It's actually a pretty common phenomenon out here for some reason. So, dull sunset is pretty good in my books. Pretty much no matter what happens tomorrow morning, it's going to be good. But I'm going to focus on the task at hand, get to Egypt Lake, see if there's anything interesting, then get back to bed. What wasn't a super interesting thing to shoot earlier today has actually become fairly interesting. Everything has got this nice flat light on it. You don't have the blown out sky, the too dark shadows, all that kind of stuff. So it definitely was a worthwhile walk over here, even if it hurt a little bit. So yeah, I'm just gonna kind of keep snapping shots until I get too tired to keep shooting, I guess. There's some very nice fall colors in that around this lake. And there's just this peak that's right across from me right now. I was shooting it from basically the campground, or the bridge you cross to get into the campground and that. And it was looking pretty good, because there's this one really nice, one side of it has a lot of these really nice yellow larches and all that on it. And it looks so cool as a leading line up to the rock. But the sad part is I just can't get the right angle on it from the campground, or even from here, really. So that's something I'm going to have to look at Healy Pass tomorrow, is just kind of that peak in specific, because it's got a lot of really nice larches on it. And yeah, I don't know what to say.